kuhamasisha na kuelekeza katika viwango vingine ambapo tulikuwa hatuelewi, ama tutatukumbusha mambo ambayo tulikuwa labda tumeyapuuzilia na kuyachukulia kama ya mzaha. Na pia pande nyingine bwana Shamba wa Shamba pia atakuwa amejiandaa zaidi ili kuweza kutubadilishia tu mawazo kidogo kutoka kwa kile ambacho tumezoea hadi kwa kile ambacho atakuwa anatuletea kigeni sana kuhusu vijana na mazingira. Na hivyo basi, right about now, let me take this opportunity to welcome Sister Aurelia into the program. Good afternoon, sister.
Good afternoon. Can you get me? Good afternoon, and welcome to our dear viewers and our dear listeners. Like he said, Sister Aurelia, right with you in the studio with Shamba wa Shamba. Most of you have listened to him because he has been with us. Today is not his first time, and we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and then of course live on the radio station. I invite you to come and be with us, discuss with us, and let us look at the youth and the environment. What is the role of the youth, and what do they do to contribute to the environment? So stay with us as we discuss this. First of all, let me welcome Shamba wa Shamba to greet us. Karibu.
Asante sana. As they have said, I'm called Shamba Shamba, and I'm here to talk, or we are here to share about youth and the environment. And I am really happy to be engaged in this matter of youth and environment, because when I was growing, I used to know that environment was for my father.
Okay.
It was not for my brothers and us who are still young. But now I have just come to realize that it is not for the fathers and mothers.
Maybe because you have become a father now.
Maybe I have become a father now. Maybe.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Welcome listeners to this session with the youth.
Okay, thank you so much, Shamba wa Shamba. And we are going straight to the point. I see we are a little bit late, so we are not going to waste time. Like, how can you define climate change as a person?
Yeah, climate change to me, it's not the falling of rain or the drought that passes, but it is the change in weather patterns. Like, we were used to see rain. I come from western part of Kenya, so we are used to see rain in March. But nowadays you find out that March comes, there is no rain. It goes to April. Or you are waiting for rain in March, then it comes in February. So that change, or the prolonged season of droughts,
Okay.
That is how I can define
Climate change. And you said you used to see in March there is rain. So I guess you used to know this is the season for rain, this is the season for the sun. And how did you first become aware of the issue of climate change, and how did it impact you?
Okay, I became aware of the climate change, as Westerners, they know us with food.
Okay. We are the food basket.
Food is the identity. We that is the tag we walk around with. Okay. We are known for food. So at home, if there is no rain, then there is no food.
Okay.
Yeah, and with that hunger and the drought season prolonging, that is when I realized there is a change, there is something that has happened. And as a young man, as I said earlier on, I didn't have much to do, because I thought the issue of environment is for parents. So even planting of trees, I am not involved in that. Okay. Even cutting of those trees, I'm not involved in that. I'm only involved in looking for firewood.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other sector of planting and cutting those trees,
you are not there.
I'm not there. It belonged to my father. But now I have realized, actually, it is my role as a young man to do that, because my father might not think of that. My father might think of planting trees, and he only says nowadays, I'm already old, so it is for the young men and women who are here, who want to see tomorrow that can do this.
Okay. And as I was growing up, I used to see my auntie. I grew up with my auntie. At some point, whenever we cut a tree for firewood, she made sure she planted like 3. I used not to understand why she was doing that. So one day I asked her, why are you planting? She said, okay, you have cut this one. Which one will you cut tomorrow? Because we have removed this. This one needs to grow for future cutting.
Yes.
You know, that was her only way of planning for her firewood, you know.
Yes.
Little did she know she was preserving the environment,
environment.
knowing that you have cut one, you need to replace it with the other one. But I'm also a little bit curious. What do you think is the most urgent aspect of climate change that needs attention today?
I think for me, according to me, the agent, the one that needs urgent today is, I will look at it like it is the we are talking about the change, the patterns that have changed, and you see everywhere people are crying over the sun, the drought season, the drought season. This season has prolonged. They don't cry about the rains that maybe might cause havoc, but they talk of the suns that have prolonged. So I think the most urgent part, really, it is that one of planting trees to curb the drought season, because they say trees are rains.
Yes.
Like in Kakamega, if you go in the interior, I come from Kakamega but not in the interior. If you go to the interior where there are forests, it rains every day. In fact, Kakamega, the entire Kakamega is green. Everywhere is green because we believe in trees. And because there are many trees, then it rains every day. So for me, I will consider in the climate change, I will look at the aspect of tree planting. That even the government of Kenya is talking about that. And this topic, you have brought it. I think I presented in class the other day with my best friend Peter Mroki. He told us to talk about globalization and the climate change. So we were talking about that, and when we finished presenting, he told us, today you have failed me, because there is nothing you have presented. Because we were just talking about theory. We are not mentioning this issue of planting trees.
Yes.
Like in government of Kenya, the government of Kenya has said that I don't know it is on when it is a public holiday where people go to plant trees. Then we didn't even mention Mother Wangari Maathai. Wangari Maathai, who fought for Uhuru Park down here. The planting of the trees when the Moi government wanted to remove the place and make their buildings. So we didn't mention Wangari Maathai, who has even preserved the
environment,
the Kakarura forest here.
Oh no.
So we didn't mention that, and Moroki will tell us, you have failed this, you have failed me.
That Peter, is he the one that teaches social transformation in the light of the Catholic Church?
No.
Okay.
He's not the one. This is an old man.
Okay.
Who was a journalist, a veteran journalist.
Okay.
So we presented that, and we didn't mention these examples. And even he talks of the vision 2032. The vision 2032, the government of Kenya has planned we must have a certain number of trees.
Okay.
Yeah. So the issue of planting trees is the one that may save Kenya and may save the world if we talk of climate change.
Okay. And I have seen a cry of young people, especially here in Kenya, saying that the government, which is giving a certain number of trees that it wants to plant, is cutting more trees. And these guys are saying, can you save the ones you have before you start planting the others? What would you say about them?
It might not be the government per se, but it is just the system. The system is
who is the government?
The government is you and me. It is you and me. As you complain that they have cut somewhere, you're also cutting somewhere. And now we forget that we are the same government. I remember when I was working on there is a certain project I was working with the Nairobi River. It was a documentary given by Dr. Tiziana. And we walked along the Nairobi River, gathering views, doing some interviews to some young men, and they complained the government of Kenya. And the same young men, we are talking of the cleanliness of this river, the same young men buy their mandazi, and then they are in nylon bags, then they throw them in the same river. Now I was asking, who is the government now? We are complaining of the government. Who is this government? We are the same government.
Okay.
And we complain. But I will also say that some people can cut trees. It depends with the status. The status. If somebody in the government cut trees along these streets in Nairobi here, I will not complain. Because it is the government. He can tell you we want to plant there something else, but there is nothing he will really do there. He's just harvesting these trees. I don't know if he cuts or he harvests.
They cut.
They
both.
cut.
They do both.
They do both.
Yes.
If it's harvesting, then
Yes.
you have a proper channel you follow. But if it is cutting, we just cut the way we want to cut it without even using them. So I will only say that it is true. Some sectors of this government, of the same government we talk about, cut trees and they don't plant. But they pass this rule you said, when you cut one, you plant two. To the common mwananchi down there. So it is the work of the common mwananchi down there to plant two. But it is not the work of the government officials to plant the trees. It happens. It is very true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, you just reminded me. Recently, I go to different parishes. Every Sunday, I have a parish I go to, and I'm normally given an opportunity to talk to Christians. They normally give me highest 2 minutes to talk to them. And the question I like asking is, when we eat a sweet, you eat a biscuit, and throw the paper through the window of your car simply because you don't want your car to be dirtied, who are you throwing it for? Who will pick it? Because there is nobody that will pick it. That particular polythene will end up in the gutter. When it ends up in the gutter, rain will come. It doesn't have where to pass because its way has been. And when we have floods, what do? Serikali.
So we complain of the same thing, even here in town. Yes, here in town. You see these mamas selling the things here. They will throw the remains. They have the bins to throw those things, but they will throw in town. And if you ask them, why are you doing this?
The
They will
government
tell you,
should clean.
kazi ya kanjo ni nini? Kazi ya kanjo ni nini?
Haba.
So kazi ya kanjo ni kutembea wakisafisha. Instead of that, just coming to collect the garbage, now you want them to start walking, collecting them first of all, then carrying them to the place they are going to dispose. So we fail as Christians, we fail as citizens. But I pray that maybe as Christians we can change. If we change, like in the parish sectors, find there is a bin, I don't know, they are called bin what?
Waste bins.
Waste bins where we throw the dirt. At least if we have those one and the parishes are clean, we can extend the same culture to the other sectors.
Thank you so much, Shamba wa Shamba. It is our responsibility. It is us to know that what we are doing is wrong. Take care of your own rubbish.
Yes.
And let the government take care of its own.
Yes.
We don't need to cry to Ruto saying he has done nothing. The poor man, if you go to the State House, is very neat.
Yes.
It is you dirting your own place and calling on him, calling him Kasongo. Leave the man alone. Let's take our own responsibility and do the needful. But again, how do you think climate change will affect our generation in the long term?
The climate change. Maybe let me use one of the effects of climate change. One of the effects is flooding. And flooding, let me just use it the way it is, flooding. I will say it can flood our minds and it can flood our generations. It can go away with a good culture, we remain with what is not necessary. So the young age, the future generation or this generation can be swept away with this. The mentality that cleanliness is not good or it is not healthy. We have to know as a generation that cleanliness, first of all, they say cleanliness is closeness to godliness. Yeah, that is what they say. That if we are not clean, then we cannot even listen to that word of God. If you are smart, then you are also near to God.
Yeah.
So if we don't take care of this environment, if we don't take care of where we are living now, the future generation, like if there is prolonged drought because we cut trees. I remember one day, long time ago, I was in Form 2. And then I remember I told you that I got an indefinite suspension. I'm still waiting for that moment when they will call me.
They haven't called you?
No, they haven't called me.
Even within this week, they didn't call.
They didn't call. So I'm still waiting for that school to call me.
Wait until tomorrow.
And when I went home, to just annoy my father to take me to another school, I started cutting trees.
Oof.
Imagine I swept everything in the compound. You see the field, the playing field. That is how the homestead looked like. And my father could not do anything. He just wake up in the morning, he looks at me, I'm working. Then I was burning charcoal. Now I burn charcoal not for selling. Just burn, I stop. Burn, stop. Then I told my mom, when everything settles, you'll be using it to cook. And that is what happened. Later on, I went to school. I finished Form 4. I never planted a tree. It is just recently when I went home. But when I am away, I used to send some money. I tell my younger brothers, after my father died, tell them, Bwana, buy some trees, seedlings, and plant them. I will use them when I come back home. Now you go back home, it is now another forest. There are trees everywhere. Even with the neighbors, they have planted, because when they see you planting, they know very well tomorrow we might go to borrow there some trees. Let's also plant. Now everybody has planted trees. So we plant that, as you said earlier on, that you cut one, but your grandmother or your aunt was also planting for tomorrow, because she knows if we cut and we don't plant, then fire will not be there tomorrow. Now imagine it with the climate. If we don't take care of our climate, we shall die. Diseases will come from nowhere, and they will sweep us. Hunger will come and it will sweep us. And if you don't even take care of that climate, if it rains heavily, these houses will be swept away. But when trees are there, they protect these houses also. They stop the soil erosion. So we shall be okay. But if we take it for granted as youth or future generation, then we might not find what our fathers found there from their grandfathers. The culture will be gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like we have heard, when you cut one, in fact,
Plant.
to me, I tell them, when you cut one, plant 5. That will save us in the future. And do you believe young people can influence climate policies or actions in their communities?
Yes.
How?
They can, because a young man like me, if I speak at home, people take it seriously. Because they know you have gone to school. So what you are talking about, it is like you have gathered it somewhere. I remember when I came I was in Europe for some time. Now I'm back in the village. Do you know, even old men will sit there to listen to me. They say, this one has experience, man.
He has gone to Nairobi.
He has, not even Nairobi, he went to the plane to the other side of the world, and he has brought us
back.
what we used to read in books. He's having it now. Let's listen to him. So I believe that with the intelligence these young men and women have, they can influence everything in their communities. You talk of corruption, they can stop it. Okay. Just like the Gen Z movements we saw just yesterday. They were almost stopping the government from running its businesses. That is the power they have. And if they have the power to stop the entire government, they made even the reshuffles to happen. The government to drop the bill, 2024 bill. Then they can stop anything in the village and begin another journey.
You can plant trees
and in fact, they are the future of these communities.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, when I'm going to my house, of course, I pass through Langata cemetery.
Yes.
And I'm like, this place it can be scary for some people. And there is somewhere I watch, there is a certain country I'm going to research very well. What they do is that they have something that is like an egg. They don't bury in coffins. So when you die, they put you in that thing, before you die, you must write a will. What type of tree would you like to be? Then they put in that thing, they stand it in the hall, and then on top of that, they plant that tree, which you said you want to be. If you said you wanted to be a mango tree, they'll plant there a mango tree, and as it grows, they will engrave your name there. So and so. Now, I'm imagining it here in Kenya, that Langata cemetery, everybody that has been buried there, it's the tree that has been planted. Imagine how the place will be looking beautiful.
It will be.
You won't even fear anybody, you know. The only thing you'll be doing is to go there and collect fruits.
Yes.
And enjoy.
Nairobi will be full of fruits.
Oh my God. So I've been thinking, I think if maybe Ruto doesn't know about it, it's something we can...
Sometimes, somebody might be having a dream like you have it, but nobody will pick this. Now you have just talked of the cemetery. Sometimes it is so... For me, it frightens. This Langata cemetery. In fact, we should organize one day, we talk about the cemetery and the dead.
Okay.
So that we can maybe bring a change. Langata cemetery, it doesn't just frighten some people. It frightens the entire generation, the entire citizenship in
But
Kenya.
just to visualize it as a forest.
Because if we were to look at Langata the way it is, just open.
With graves.
Everybody fears.
Yes.
I have been in cemeteries. Beautiful cemeteries. You even admire to die.
But
Beautiful
Langata?
cemeteries. But Langata, I don't want to die now, please.
Oh my God.
Let
Okay.
me just be.
Okay, let's look at this. What role do you think social media plays in spreading awareness about climate change, especially among the youth?
Okay, number one, we should understand that social media or media platforms, media as mtoto wa kifalme, I think mtoto wa kifalme knows this.
Okay.
He is a journalist and he should be knowing that media is entertains. Media entertains, and he knows that. That's why he puts music there, Mama Maria playing there. And he also knows that we educate people. Our work is to educate people. That's the way you are talking here. You don't know who is listening to you outside there.
Yeah.
And it is the work of mtoto wa kifalme to teach people. Not just to play music and then say the day is over and he signs out and he goes away. He must teach us. And then another thing, now this one doesn't work with Radio Maria because it is an entrepreneurship business like mine. It doesn't work like Radio Maria because you don't have matangazo kutangaza. But there is another thing now. Apart from entertaining, educating, what is the third thing? Mtoto wa kifalme atuambie what is the third thing? The role of media. From educating and entertaining.
Educating and entertaining.
Yes.
What else? Yeah, I don't know.
Educating and entertaining.
Yes.
Those are our core thing as a
Yes.
journalist.
Mm.
Entertain.
And then to teach.
And inform. Now you are right. We inform. Now, what is the role of media in these things of globalization and climate change? We need to inform people things are changing. And what can we do to maintain what is supposed to be there? We need to tell people that we need to plant trees, just as you have said here. Cut one, plant 5 or 2. You don't cut, plant trees. You don't know who will be using these trees, but just plant the trees to save the climate. Yeah, we need to inform people, we need to teach people what they should do. So the media comes in just to inform people on what they should do. There is a change. There are some people who don't know that there is a change. To them, you see the prolonged drought or the prolonged rain, to them it is normal. They will tell, now my mother, I don't know if my mother knows these things. She'll be like, mvua imechelewa kuja mara hii. Oh, mvua imekuja mapema. That is all. She doesn't know that there is a change. So as a media person, you need to tell her, Mom, there is a climate change.
Yes.
The season has changed and there is prolonged drought or prolonged rain. The rain will delay or the rains are coming.
Okay.
If you are planting, plant this and don't plant this. Mom, plant some trees. Like my mom can cut a tree, but anyway, I thank God she cannot cut any tree, even a branch at home. because she knows I would ask. Even my brothers who planted those trees, they will tell you, this guy, you tell him you want to cut one tree, he gives you money to go and buy a tree somewhere else. Because I feel it, I feel pain when I
Okay.
so that is it.
Okay, thank you so much, Shamba wa Shamba. And just imagining, you said that the young people have the power.
Yes.
And personally, I believe so much in the potentials of young people, especially, actually, me, I'm not even looking at youth, I'm looking at children. If you tell a child, this morning we had a session about climate change, still, the young people. It was I think grade 6, the ones that were here in the studio. And we came to a conclusion, all of them, everybody is going to plant 1, 2 in number. So now me, I'm envisaging my 32 trees when they go home for holiday. And I believe when you teach a child, especially in schools, you tell a child, when you finish eating a sweet, you are supposed to fold that paper, put it in your bag.
Yes.
Then when you reach at home, dispose it where it is supposed to be disposed.
Yes.
If this child sees her mother throwing it outside the car, she will tell the mother, Mommy, that's not right. Teacher said you should put it in your bag and take it home.
Yes.
Now, I believe so much in the potentials of those young people, and that's why I came up with this book. It's so our dear listeners, I'm going to post it after that. It is called Laudato Si, the Pope's Message, Ujumbe wa Baba Mtakatifu.
Yes.
It is meant to sensitize children about those kind of matters. But again, I'm asking myself, there are some movements that young people have done. There are, like last year, I think we had a climate strike where different groups came up, environmental enthusiasts, environmental ambassadors, Laudato Si. They came together and we were having a walk. Actually, we walked from Nyayo Stadium to Kwea.
Yes.
And of course, we were shouting, climate change, climate justice, we need it now. And after that, I was like, okay, what has happened? And I'm imagining, do you think this can make a difference?
Did something happen, first of all, in your manifestation when you are walking?
Of course, people came out, they were looking at us, looking at our banners.
They don't know what is happening.
They don't know what is happening. We are saying climate justice.
They don't know what is happening because the media has failed.
Of course, we were with the media.
Yes,
Yes,
but we are
TV
failing.
was with
You know what media should be focusing on doesn't focus on that. It changes. It focuses on something else. When we want the media to focus on environment, they're going to focus on politics.
My happiness is that you're in media. So maybe when you come, you do something different.
But it will be late. At least whoever is there, mtoto akifanya metayari is already there.
Okay. Okay. He's in media.
No. I think media has failed, to say the truth. What media should be focusing on?
Yeah.
They should take this matter of environment and climate change as a basic need. Actually, it is. That they should be preaching about the same every day, every now and then. But now media, when we want them to focus on environment, they focus on something else. They change they change their attention. Now they take us somewhere, concentration goes somewhere else. And now, when you did that manifestation, I think I saw it somewhere once. Then it ended like that. Yes.
I think I'll talk on behalf of the media.
Yes,
okay.
talk.
And I think this is a very, very, very broad topic about when you mention the media.
Yes.
First of all, I think you should understand that the media is in here for business.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. That is one of the focus of
that's
media.
The core.
It is the core now.
Yeah,
it is the core.
It's business.
Yes.
Yeah? There are employees and everyone.
Yes.
Mostly it depends on commercials and government advertisements.
Yes.
Government advertisements. Actually, government advertisement is what keeps, let's say, the secular media active.
Now, let me tell you, the government has also adopted another way. It is not advertising with this
No,
media.
it has not adopted.
It has adopted another
That
way.
was a suggestion by a certain PS, and he has been removed after that statement. The court has decided that it's not going to operate that way.
Let's go.
Yeah. So what I'm telling you is that all the other medias are
Yes.
surviving on government advertisements. So I think it should be a government initiative to have these programs.
Yes.
In terms of curriculum in schools, they be broadcasted on TV and radio. In terms of bringing about all these campaigns,
Yes.
being paid for adverts on TV, that will really work. If you want the media to fully participate in this thing called environment,
Climate change.
climate change and everything.
Yes.
I think there's so much in it, and also we have these other so many NGOs that are running climate movements.
Yes.
All those NGOs, and I'm aware of people in the ghetto areas, is informal settlement areas,
Yes.
and it's all for personal benefit. They gather a few people, they start doing some things there, then they'll attend COP. When COP comes,
Yes.
they're given funds,
They are
and
given
everything
funds.
for personal gain. Instead of you as an NGO, you've received the money from COP and other well-wishers who are really trying to fight and try to turn around the whole thing about environmental change. They can invest the money on advertising on these platforms,
Yes.
but they only go as far as opening an Instagram page, posting their stories there, and that's all. When you know very well that there is traditional media
Yes.
where people can get direct access. People from your village listen to radio,
Yes.
don't they?
They listen. They
To the
do.
vernacular radio.
Yes, they do.
They listen to it.
And they
Yes.
don't have Instagram.
They don't have Instagram. Yes, it is not there.
Yes.
They even don't know what is it.
Yeah. So we as the media fraternity, we've brought you a whole media house with several radios with different languages. But the person who is claiming to be championing for climate change, Instagram, where people who are on Instagram, they live on rooftops.
Yes.
The closer they can interact to soil is maybe when they are moving out of their house and boarding a car. Person who lives within the forest areas doesn't hear anything about the disadvantages of burning charcoal. They don't know anything about that. Where are these funds going to? As much as Africans and the third world countries are claiming that COP and the Western world is not contributing much in solving all these problems, but how are they using the funds?
We claim that corruption has taken everything, but we should also accept that media has a role to play. Whether the government brought the announcement or not, you have a role to play. Now, like for example,
You as a person.
this Radio Maria here,
Yes.
it has nothing to do with the government.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the government. But if Radio Maria here announces something here, all Catholics listening to us now are learning something. If Radio Maria here talks about the climate, and I know that all the parish priests announce in their parishes, things will change. The government will be now learning from them. Do you understand what we call the benchmarking? The benchmarking. You hear the government taking people from here kwenda COP yenye unasema COP 29, I don't know where it will be in the year coming. The government takes people to go and see things outside there, how roads are made outside there, or how the climate is conserved. But here, if you just go to the parish here and you tell the parish priest, please prepare something on environment, go and tell the people the relationship between us and this environment. I tell you, Christians will be doing what is necessary tomorrow.
And that's why I'm telling you.
Yes.
Like, let's say for Catholic media and maybe faith-based medias,
Yes.
we can differentiate them from the other secular media.
Yes.
I'm talking on behalf of the secular media.
Yes.
Because they only look, as much as I would as a journalist on that platform, as much as I would want to talk about this environment and highlight everything that's supposed to be put out there, but then my boss has a commercial that is scheduled at a particular time. I can't talk beyond that time. The commercial has to come in. So that's why I'm asking for these people who are fighting for climate change, and they are really, they have spent around, and they are receiving a lot of funds. What are they using the money to?
It is corruption.
Yeah, exactly.
It is corruption.
Instead of paying for these commercials of this media. So you cannot also tell me to talk about media as much as I to talk on my space on this particular radio. Then I'm giving away that time that I should have done a commercial. So if you paid for a commercial on environment change with the funds that you've received from donations, what's there to pay you, or what do you lose when you're doing what you're supposed to do?
So we should start paying you for that.
Somebody
we do it
told
as a
me-
commercial.
Sister, somebody told me when I was making the documentary, this was class project on Nairobi River. And you know, I just did it. I did it just for kupita tu mtihani, just passing exam, and that is it. You know, when I posted that thing on YouTube, my platform, people from outside the country called me and told me, Shamba, can you go back and give us part 2 of this? And I realized they are not reading the description down there, because it was just a class project. Now the class is over, what will I do? Now they were insisting, go back and bring us the second part, because the government had already just said that we are now employing young men to go and work on that river.
So they wanted to be sure,
to
has
be
it
sure,
worked?
has it really worked? But I liked somebody to hold the camera for me, so I didn't go there. I've never been there.
Okay.
I have tried to write letters to Sakaja here, but he has never responded to my letters.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Shamba wa Shamba. We are going to take a break, and as we get ready for Divine Mercy, so stay with us and let's pray together. Thank you.
Mtoto akifanya kazi yake, atangazie wanakijiji wake. You should announce at home to your parents, they planted trees, they conserve environment.
Let me first cut this.
It was continuing.